It's something else. Texas Congressman Pat Fallon joins us now to talk about this. He works in the state that's the epicenter of this big problem. Sir, it's good to see you tonight.
Rob, it's great to see you, and thanks for having me on.
Of course, yeah. I mean, how sad is this to watch? I mean, just watching this devolve. It's your state.
Oh, it's awful. You know, what Joe Biden has done is made every state a border state with this disastrous immigration policy. And it is, by the way, it is open border. There's no law and order down there, and they're lying to the American people.
Yeah, they are. And watching them, you know, it was a full-blown self-inflicted wound. It was them, we're going to come into the White House. We're going to do everything the opposite of Trump. We're going to be open borders in the most liberal presidency you've ever seen. They destroy this border that was functioning quite well and was on the verge of functioning really well if that wall ever had gotten done. They destroy it, and then they try to implement common sense now that it's a crisis. So they have to basically ruin everything, and then they say, oh, well, now I guess we have to fix all this stuff we just destroyed. I mean, that's just so infuriating to watch as a common sense American, which is what most of us are. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. Most of us have common sense and can see what idiocy is. This is idiocy.
No, there's no doubt about it. I mean, when you see the numbers are increasing every single month, and when Psaki lies and says, well, there has been a reduction, she's splitting hairs. It was 212,000 encounters in July. It was 208,000 in August. So barely a reduction, but 208,000 is still one of the worst months we've ever had in 30 years. Right. So she's not telling the truth in context. And it is, we're talking to the sheriffs that we know that are on the border, Rob, and they're at their wit's end.
Right.
And only President Trump policies will fix this disaster.
And it's just hysterical to watch them fighting to get Trump policies reenacted. I mean, they're doing the stuff. I mean, this is the stuff that the fascist Nazi regime of Donald Trump was doing a couple years ago, and now you're watching Mayorkas do the same thing. I'm just cracking up. I mean, you can't help but laugh. And I have one real question here, and that is the Haitians. How do you have 12,000 people from Haiti under a bridge? Haiti is not nearby. It's in the Caribbean. It's an island. How does that even happen?
Yeah, we want to get to the bottom of this, and eventually, the truth comes out. But you have 12 to 14,000 people from the island of Hispaniola that are in Texas now. First of all, so how did they get here? And we need to send a message. There's over 11 million people that live in Haiti. If we accept the majority of these folks, there's going to be another 100,000 that come. And it's a perilous journey. And Rob, once they get to Mexico, the Mexican drug cartels take over and they exploit these people. 30% of the women that make this journey are sexually assaulted or raped along the journey. No liberals talk about those numbers, do they?
Yeah, they've been ignoring that the whole time. But have you gotten any indication from your guys? I mean, I know you're connected to a lot of these guys. Do they know? I mean, how did Haiti become? Where did all the Haitians come from? I don't understand this. I mean, that would take you would need an armada from Haiti to bring that many people to Mexico and then to walk into the United States. Does anybody have an answer to where they came from?
We're going to be finding out in the next few days. There's some theories that we don't want to expound on until we have some more data, and some more facts to back it up. But yeah, I think obviously it was very well funded. But you made a very good point too. Now, one person can come from the northern border. Nobody from Canada, Europe, or Asia is allowed in the country, even if it's just on a tourist visa or just to, and come spend their dollars. Yeah. Even when they're vaccinated and even if they're test negative, we don't even know who these people are, these 1.5 million. And even when they test positive, Biden is releasing them into the American homeland. That is not following the science.
Yeah, we don't want anybody from Ottawa going to New York City and spending a couple $1,000s, if they're not vaccinated. We couldn't have that, but this is fine. I want to ask about this, and switching gears here, I want to ask about the Texas abortion law. You have this doctor who says that he performed an abortion and has been sued. Obviously, he performed an abortion after 6 weeks. The doctor's name is Alan Braid. He wrote an op-ed in the Washington Post. He says he violated the Texas 6-week abortion ban because he had acted because I had a duty to care for his patient, as I do for all patients, and because he says he has a fundamental right to receive this care. He says the law, like all the liberals say, is unconstitutional. He's facing 2 lawsuits brought against him under this ban. And for people that don't understand, this law just functions by letting other people sue people that break the law, which is what makes it so strange to me. But one is by a felon. You have a felon in Arkansas, from what I understand, suing a doctor in Texas for breaking this ban. This is such a strange law. I mean, put this into perspective for us, the way this thing operates. And will this Will this law last in this way?
I think, Rob, it's a great question. I think it will. Now, this is a law that the Texas legislature passed, so we didn't see it in Congress. But what it does is it allows any citizen to have standing to sue civilly. Yeah. So it's not a legal matter per se as far as criminality is concerned, and you sue the abortion provider, the doctor that performs the abortion, and they could face multiple lawsuits. And I believe it's a $10,000 hit every time. And so that's why it dissuades, of course, abortionists to perform abortions.
Yeah.
In the state.
It's interesting. I mean, you start to read some of the details. The first one, I mean, you have a guy from Arkansas suing a doctor for doing an abortion. It just seems, everything about it seems so strange. And the Supreme Court has not yet really chimed in on this thing. I'm curious what they'll say. Congressman Pat Fallon from Texas, thanks so much for the time. We appreciate it.
Hey, Rob, thanks. God bless. Take care.